And this one is a competitive dice rolling and bidding game where each player is going to be playing as their own individual bird with their own clutch of baby nestlings. And this is a game that plays over 4 rounds, and at the start of each round, every player is going to be simultaneously rolling their pool of dice. Players do get one free re-roll if they want to re-roll any of their dice to get some different values, but essentially what players are trying to do is to get values that match different regions of the board, because after all the players have rolled their dice, they're going to be taking turns assigning one die at a time to one of the 5 regions of the board. Each region has its own icon that correlates to one of the sides of each of your dice, and you can only assign dice to a region that have a matching icon. As players are placing their dice, they can also spend some of their resources to reroll any of the remaining die, or to set one of their die to a specific value. And the whole reason that players are trying to do this is because there's going to be different resources of different types at each of these regions. And after all the dice have been placed, each region is going to be resolved with the player who has the most dice there getting first choice of whichever tokens that they want from that region. And any other players that also place their dice there will also be able to take a stack of their choice in order from most to least dice. If players place the same amount of dice in a location, then the order that you place them is going to take priority instead. But there is a difference for the player that is getting first choice of all these tokens, because they're also going to have the opportunity to discard any of the other stacks as well, preventing all the other players from being able to choose them for themselves. There is also a difference with the center location on the board, because this one doesn't actually get any resources of its own. Instead, this one is also the last region to be resolved, and whoever has dice there is going to be able to choose from any of the remaining resources at any of the other locations. And of course, the reason that players are trying to get all these different resources is because this is a set collection game, and you're going to be getting victory points for accomplishing different sets. If you're able to get all the different types from a region, that's going to be getting you victory points. If you can get every single region completed, then that's going to get you another set of victory points. Then there are also shared objectives as well as secret objectives that players are trying to achieve. And on top of all of this, each player is going to have a specific resource that they're going to be using to feed their birds. And if you don't have enough of that resource at the end of each round, then you're going to be losing some victory points. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins the game, and if you want to check this one out, I have links in the description below.